I call the meeting of the Kingston Springs Regional Planning Commission to order. My name's Tony Campbell and I'm the vice chairman. I'm just filling in tonight. As you can tell, I'm somewhat visually impaired this week, seeing that the optometrist decided to biopsy my eyes. So anyhow, I welcome everybody here. Call the roll, please.
Keith Allgood.
Present.
Tony Campbell.
Present.
Tom Cullen.
Here.
Josh Etherly. Tony Gross.
Here.
Brian McCain. Mike Patno. Chuck Slater.
Here.
Bob Stoller.
Here.
And I detect a quorum. Non-voting staff, go ahead.
Sharon Armstrong.
Here.
John Lawless.
Here.
Martha Burke Perry. Here. Brittany Stanley here.
That's part of the quorum. All right. Motion to approve the May 13th, 2021 Planning Commission meeting.
So
Minutes
moved.
as circulated.
Second.
We have a motion, and a motion, a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Motion to approve June 10th, 21 Planning Commission meeting agenda.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Community input. Do we have any community input? No community input? Hearing none. Old business, none. New business, consideration of preliminary input for master development plan and recommendations to the city commission of a PUD agreement. Madam Planner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, planning commissioners. The applicant submitted a set of plans third week of May. You have them before you in larger copies, which are more digestible. I have read the plans. They include a preliminary layout for the proposed development. They include a preliminary road layout. There is a work schedule attached. There is also a chart of structures that are proposed for the development. I have reviewed them. There's a notation that I want the Planning Commission, I'm sorry, I'll borrow this, on sheet 2 of the plan. There's a notation, the only structure located within the regulated flood area is a pump house. The pump house is adjacent to a pond that will be used for fire suppression purposes. If you will look at the chart, in the top right of page 2 of your plan set, you will note that there is a note about the pump house. It is an uninhabited structure, will contain irrigation pumps and controls. Pump house will be above base flood elevation, will not lie below base flood elevation upon approval of the flood study. So this is a contingent location. They are in the process of the final engineering and data for the flood study to determine where to go forward to FEMA for review. We discussed that last month in the meeting. Also included is the chart with agreed upon percentages for development, and the top chart under the PUD data for residential, commercial, and open space. There is a listing of structures in this chart as well. There's a density chart that I asked for. The second chart is the floodplain zone development table, pump house we just talked about. There are two smaller charts. I asked them to provide me with a list of materials they proposed for the construction of the golf course holes, sand traps, and that. Construction materials are there. What I did not want to see was anything that was fill material that was compromised, as we saw on another property in recent years. So I wanted to make sure it was all clean fill. None of it was construction debris or generated from that source. There's also an anticipated schedule. The grading plan that you see in front of you has been broken down into smaller elements because it is a very large site with a little more detail. You'll see on the layout the roads, the septic system, the whole layout, the pump house location, the proposed pump house location, the detention area, which will drive both the sprinkler system and irrigation system, is laid out. They've also identified the development areas for residential and commercial and the golf course holes. Their schedule, they would like to begin, if this is approved, for mass grading, broken down into elements. There will be a permit attached, a SWIP attached, and a TDAC. Notice of coverage will be required before it's touched. 2021, 2022. So it's a pretty aggressive development schedule. Clubhouse and Lodge 2022, 2023. Restrooms and shelters that are scattered throughout the plan layout for comfort stations and restrooms, none of which reside in a flood area, are scheduled for 2022, 2023. The halfway house, not the common definition, but halfway around the course, 2022, 2023. Maintenance building 2031, storage building A, storage building B, 2021 and 2023 respectively. So if you take a minute and look at the layout, the other sheets indicate topography, and then it breaks down the mass grading that will occur on the property. The flood ordinance allows development of golf course holes. We allow that in the flood ordinance. The only building, again, that's proposed within a flood area is the pump house for the irrigation and sprinkler system, and that will be dependent on the feedback that we get on the Clomar from FEMA. So with that, I have reviewed it. It complies with our ordinance. Do you have any questions regarding, and it complies with the schedule and the percentages for development of residential, commercial, and recreational that we agreed to with the preliminary plan for the rezone.
I guess I would ask the city manager, does the city have the resources to monitor this and go on?
Monitor the
whole project?
Yes.
Who is the architect for the golf course?
I'm Jeff Hooper with Large Golf and Associates. The architect is Phil Hans. It's Hans Golf Course Architecture. That the actual.
I would pronounce it
Hans. Sorry. Hans.
We won't have an argument about it.
Will your schedule be affected by the bridge on South Harbor?
No, sir.
So you'll come around the other way?
We're coming in from Highway 100. Yes, sir. And we've had some preliminary conversations with regards to access with the county road superintendent as well.
So it's going to be Rush Creek Road and Forest Drive and whatever that other.
Our conversations initially with our subs and with the roadway commissioner is Highway 100 coming in that direction.
Yeah.
He has another bridge. It's not Anderson. There's another bridge that's right off of Brush Creek that he has issues with as well. So we've been. Yeah, it's not. If you're going out South Harpeth, it's the first road off to your left.
That's
Past the
Anderson.
golf course. Anderson. So I know he's had some troubles with the bridge on Anderson Lane. So we've been in discussion about trying to bring, how are we going to bring our traffic into.
So you could come in South Harpeth off of Highway 100, is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. That's the intent. Now, with all truck drivers, that's our intent, is to communicate to them, is to come in and out of Highway 100. There'll probably be some get off of 40 and go, I can't get to where I'm going, right? And that's
Sure. Any other questions?
What's the grid work? Is that out strictly elevation for that local area? There's not a number of places where you've got these grids.
The grids that you're seeing on there, that is the septic mapping areas that will support the septic systems for all the structures that'll be on the campus. So halfway house, the bathrooms that are out there, the clubhouse, it's all septic. We have no sanitary sewer, so those have been mapped, and those are our mapped areas for septic system.
In addition to that, Mr. Cullen, to further that discussion on the grids that you see on the layout, Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation will review that layout. Permits will be secured. We always check those before we move forward with anything else.
Any other questions?
Move approval.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second? We have a
Mr. Chairman, I
motion to
apologize for
approve.
interrupting, but because this will be the actual PUD agreement that goes to the city commission for review, I would appreciate it if we could include in this motion that you're approving the layout, including road and utility location, the schedule as it's proposed on the plan, the infrastructure for placement of the holes, and the improvements to the golf course area, and the grading plan as it's broken down into 6 parts.
Did you get that, Madam Secretary?
I did.
Who made the motion?
I did.
You put that in the motion?
I move that we accept it as amended.
I made the motion.
What do you made it?
All right, who made it? You made it, okay. Tom have it, you have it. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. Now, this is recommending to the city commission.
Yes.
Thank y'all very much for the pleasure.
Tell young Dan, Tony Campbell said it was.
Mr. Campbell, I'll certainly do
I
that.
knew him years ago.
I
He
know
and his
you do.
dad both.
I know you do, and hope your eyes get better there, sir.
I hope so.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. Just a quick, Phil Hance designed the Olympic course that we have been there
And happy birthday.
2016.
You're great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, planner, anything else before this august body?
Just a reminder, there's a training session on the 17th, which is next week, at the city commission meeting. It's a joint training session for the planning commission, the board of zoning appeals, and the city commission.
At
6 o'clock.
6.
Pardon?
Here, 6 p.m.
We're going to keep it as brief as possible, but we're going to try to get them all out of the way. We have a number of new board of zoning appeals members. Well, we have one new one, and there needs to be a refresher course in that area. We're going to discuss, for some of you, this is going to be painting an old house. We're going to talk about Robert Rules of Orders. We're going to talk about the proper wasted motion. We're going to have another discussion, which was done, but I don't think internalized yet, about ex parte communication outside meetings. We're going to talk about appropriate contact with an applicant and inappropriate contact with an applicant. So it should take about 45 minutes. It will suffice for, it's listed as a 2-hour course. So listen fast and enjoy it.
Is our attorney going to be there?
I'm sorry.
I asked if you were going to be there.
Absolutely.
All right.
Burns Park or
That's-
here?
Listen, we need critique, feedback, and, immediate relief, so
That's
everybody's
definitely in
welcome.
the legal recommendation world, so.
Well,
yes.
I just,
Are we gonna have enough seats for everybody?
Yes, we will be able to spread a couple more tables in here and then break them down real quick before the Board of Commissioners meeting.
everybody will be able to hear without echoes.
That's correct. Acoustics in here are much better for us deaf folks.
All right, anything else?
That's it.
I move we adjourn.
We have a
Second.
Motion to adjourn, second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those
Aye.
opposed, motion carries. We're done.